A judge in the United Kingdom has sentenced a Nigerian 32 years old Adejuwan Olufemi Alexander to spend life in prison. This is a 32 years old Nigerian who was a few years ago touted as future entrepreneur. This guy and his friends, they set up one of the leading social media company that was doing very well. Everything was going for this young man. One mistake that he made has now cost him his life. And the sad reality is that this brother is going to be spending a long time in jail. He blames mental health for his actions. Let me know whether you have any sympathy for this young man's story. Frank is my name. If you see my face for the first time on this channel, we share content to inform and educate our audience. Knowledge, they say, is power. This afternoon's content is extremely important because 1 in 4 of us will suffer some form of illness, not according to me, but according to expert. And therefore, it is imperative that you watch this video. And please, if you know anyone who will benefit, kindly ensure that they see this video. How come a Nigerian guy, very young guy, who everything was going well for him, how did he ended up in this mess? That is a story that we are going to share with you today. Olaju Adejuwon, this guy, everything went well for him. Him and his friends, they flew to Spain. And one of the purpose of that trip was for business and leisure. When he was there, as a young man, he said he was dealing with the stress that his work put on him. He said, as a black man operating in a predominantly not black society, that there is extra pressure on him to deliver. He said he couldn't deal with the stress that was coming from work and all aspects of his life. He needed to find a way to cope. And the way that our brother decided to cope is to resort to misusing substance. This brother started misusing illegal drugs. Before you know, our brother is now operating on a high level using cocaine. When he went to Spain after that trip, there have been reports that the brother was trying to impress the people that he was working with. He was trying to live up to the expectation that, yes, let's be honest, there's a difference when it comes to expectation. When you work in the UK, America, as a black person, you have to always try to prove that you are good enough for the job. Sadly, some people cannot deal with this stress. And this brother, his way of coping with the stress is to take illegal drug. The guy was high. They said the guy was high to the point where when he went to Spain, he started giving out his belongings. People he met on the road, he was so intoxicated to the point where he was living in a different planet. He was so intoxicated that at the end of the day, he came back. When he came back, this brother wasn't himself again. His mom saw the brother. His mom said the child was not himself. Before this guy went to holiday, his mom said she noticed that her son's behavior has changed. She noticed that this brother, something wasn't right. The way he was behaving, the way he was acting, she noticed that when she advised the son to sought for help, the son did not sought for help, did not seek help. This is why when you have children, especially those who are first generation immigrants, When you have children, you have to keep your eye on the ball. And when you notice changes, either the way your son or your daughter present himself, you notice some changes as a parent, you need to beg these children to ask for help. This guy ignored his mom before he came. When the mom came, said, as soon as he returned back from Spain, she knew that something was going to happen. She was really worried. She was really worried. This guy, the stepfather who raised him as a child, the stepfather that he has always saw as his dad, he came back because he wasn't thinking correctly. According to this brother, when he came back, him and his stepfather, they had a disagreement. The guy said they've had disagreements in the past and they always resolve their differences. When you are in a blended relationship, you're in a relationship with a woman that have children, there will always be disagreement. When they had that disagreement, the woman said, the guy said, he just told that this guy, it was everything was going to be sorted. Before the stepfather knew what was happening, our brother did the unthinkable this very fateful day. The brother went to the kitchen. He looked, and he found a knife. And sadly, he went to meet his stepfather, a man who raised him from his childhood. And he started, out of nowhere, attacking the man, saying he wants to kill the man. They thought this was a joke. Before you know what was happening, Adejuwan Olufemi held this man to the point where this man was crying for his life. When his mom noticed that this is going beyond a joke, she did the thing that any responsible person would do by calling the police. When the police arrived, they tried to remove this guy from his stepfather's hand. The guy, they couldn't do everything. They realized that this guy, he was operating on a different level because of the substance. They had to call the firearms units to come and disarm this brother. By the time the firearms unit used higher taser to taser Adejuwa, by the time they eventually, this guy was telling the officer that he wants to go to a different planet. He was saying, take me. I don't want to live on this. I want to live in a different island with my family. What the guy was saying was incoherent. When time the officer removed him from his stepfather, sadly, the stepfather who raised him from childhood, the stepfather that he has always called his father, died on the scene. The guy was charged to court. When he was charged to court, initially the police said this is shocking and despicable. When the guy was eventually evaluated, they said the guy was suffering from mental health. That mental health is likely responsible for his behaviors. And the judge have now looked at the evidence provided by the CPS and decided to therefore say to this young man, lock him up indefinitely. You will never come back again because you will always be a threat to society. The sad reality is that a gentle giant, innocent man, Mr. Thompson, has now been taken from us. The mom has lost the love of her life and she's lost her son. This boy is going to be locked up indefinitely. The picture you are seeing here is a picture of Mr. Thompson, who our brother has sadly taken away from us. Mr. Thompson's sister said that every day I wake up, she said, Jason, that's the guy's first name, and I had a special bond. We're both cheerleader for one another. There is not a day that goes past without tears and my heart aching. I still struggle with the reality that he's not here. Jason leaves behind a beautiful, attentive, and caring legacy. That is the statement that the sister read when this guy was sentenced to life indefinitely. Now, 1 in 4 of us will suffer from some form of mental health in our lifetime. Whether you like it or not, you may not want to admit it because of the stigma and lack of awareness about mental health, especially among the Black community. As I am speaking to you now, I myself, I have gone through stress in my life. Those of us that come from ethnic minority, when we look at housing, unemployment, racism, and all the problems that we face in Western society, we are vulnerable and therefore susceptible to have some form of mental health. I am appealing to you. If you know yourself, if you know that you're teetering on the edge, please speak to someone. Speak to someone. A promising Black man who had set up his own social media company, who was doing very well and regarded as a role model by our community. Today, we have lost 2 great Black men. Mr. Thompson Adejuwon is going to be spending his life in jail. There are no winners in this case. If you know anyone who is suffering from some form of mental health problem, please ask them to ask for help. The mindset that we have in Africa, especially in the Black community, mental health means that you pull your shirt, you throw it away. No, stress is a form of mental health. There are times that me myself, I had to switch off my phone because I know that if I don't take care, I could be going cuckoo. I have to disengage because you know yourself. Please, brothers and sisters, mental health is real. This guy is going to be spending the rest of life. And sad reality, the guy said, and I quote, he said, I know that Jason will never come back, but my action, I cannot live with it because my action has caused pain to the man I called my father, the man that raised me when I was growing up. The reality is that the guy is going to be locked up. Please, brothers and sisters, mental health is real. We are all going through it. We are going through different challenges, different barriers. Like I said before, housing, unemployment, racism, and all these problems, money worries, ethnic minority are living in poverty in the Western world. We know we need to help ourselves. We need to speak to people you trust, your pastors, your imam. This is real. If you see any value in this content, don't forget to support what we're trying to do by giving a like and share, because mental health is real and we are all going to be affected. Don't forget to give this video a like.